What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the Creator Chat podcast. Now, I apologize. This episode may be a little fumbly, a little out of whack. This is my first episode back after taking some time off after my mother passing away. For those of you who don't know, she was my best friend, my sole reason for having a YouTube channel, a second channel, becoming a creator coach. Everything I've ever done, from podcast to musical theater to drag, she's been front row and center for. So it's been extremely difficult moving forward with grief while trying to get back to the reality of my life. And the reality of my life is this podcast and is my YouTube channels. And she knew all the details to this podcast, to what I wanted it to be, to how I wanted to teach and inspire people. She was so proud of my own journey and how I wanted to just wrap that up in a bow and give it to other people. She was on board for what I wanted to do. So I really want to get back into doing what her and I plan to do with this podcast and with my YouTube channels and with helping people grow and with growing my own businesses. All those things can and will happen, but this grief, this heartbreak, this journey of losing her has been so devastating that I am off to a slow start. And not that I owe anybody apologies, but I do just apologize because my intentions were to start off strong in the new year on January 1st. And rather than start off strong the week of January 1st, I found out she passed on January 1st. So my whole world was flipped upside down. And I was so excited to go all in with content creation on January 1st with the channels and the podcast that I gave myself a trial week the week before. And the last week of December, I was going so hard doing episodes, doing videos, doing recordings, everything and anything to elevate and prepare for the new year. And then right as the new year hit, I got the horrible news. And as the oldest of my family, it was up to me to arrange services. It was up to me to get out everything in order. And it was extremely long process of organizing something I just didn't want to organize, and being at the head of something that I just wanted to believe wasn't real. And throughout all of that, I always was thinking about my channel. And on my variety channel, although that's known for being an entertainment channel, I paused that and I began doing vlogs discussing the experience I was going through. And over there, you see those raw, traumatic moments of me telling everyone how I feel, which I think is so important, because as a entertainer and as someone who hosts a variety channel, I don't want to continue making entertainment content over there without people knowing the ins and outs of my personal vlogs. And that's what makes that channel a variety channel, is that in between the entertainment, you get the real personal vlogs of what's going in my life. That way, when you see the next movie review or you see the next music reaction, you kind of have a better understanding of why I react a certain way, on top of realizing how sensitive and empathic that I am. You also just realize what I've been through, and the song or movie might make more sense as to why I'm reviewing it or discussing it on the channel. So I'm so proud of what the entertainment channel and the variety channel has become over there, and it became a home place to put those vlogs of my initial feelings for the grief. But over here on the Creator Chat podcast and in my coaching world, I also am bringing it up in here, and I wanted to discuss dealing with grief specifically as a content creator, because it can be so different than your everyday person dealing with grief. You know, we, for a living, record videos, record podcasts, take pictures, have a presence online that's seen more than other people. And when something this real happens, something this dramatic and traumatic and life-changing happens, you naturally get so bound to the earth and so bound to your spirit and who you are, and you want to take a step back away from social media, away from the internet, away from pictures. You just want to be in your memories and your feelings. And I think that battle to uploading and to being connected to the earth can be so difficult. And for me, it was particularly very difficult because my mom knew how bad I wanted to be a content creator and be the best one that I could while helping other people be the best that they can. And while other people may have thought my dreams and ideas were too much or too long, she listened to every detail. She knew exactly everything I wanted to be and who I was trying to be, and everything, my whole plan to life. She knew every detail of it. We talked for hours on the phone every day, and she's the only one who knew everything that was going on exactly in my head. So it only makes sense, especially knowing that I have her blessing, that she loves that I live to inspire other people, that I just take a small turn here on the content coaching channel. And I will get back to teaching how to do better thumbnails and how to get more views and how to make sure you're seen through keyword research on social media. All that is important, but I also just want to remind you guys, when genuine real things happen, to speak on them and connect with people on the internet so that you can find people going through the same thing and help them. And it's moments like this where I just wanted to turn the content and talk about that grief as a content creator, talk about personally what I'm going through. And as you can see, there's no real genuine flat advice here. I'm just telling you what I did and what I was feeling when I was going through this grief, when I was going through this situation that I'm still going through right now. And this is my first time back to this podcast since that happened. And this is a good way for me to open back up into the creator chat, because as much as there's so much to learn analytically as a content creator, there's so much to learn aesthetically as a content creator, there's still what it means to be it on the inside. And that's what this is about right now, that at the end of the day, once you're done uploading your content, no matter what your niche is, no matter what your videos are about, this can happen to you. You can lose a loved one, you can lose a parent, you can lose a child. And that reality really makes you take a step back and make you think, should I be doing this? Do I want to connect with the internet today? And what I want to tell you is that give yourself the time. I never in a million years imagined myself taking weeks off of my channel. And even when she first initially passed, those first couple days I was doing vlogs. And then after that, I genuinely, as I said would happen and could happen to you, I genuinely wanted to be connected to my friends, to the earth, to the world. I didn't want to be on my phone every 5 seconds. I didn't want to be in the analytics world and uploading and posting. And I didn't say anything. I just took the time I needed, and I came back when I felt strong enough. But take that time. Don't be afraid. And I think specifically for people in my situation, if the person that you lost was your number one cheerleader, was your number one supporter, and they're now gone, don't think that you have to rush back to doing what you planned with that person or to prove to that person. Know that that person would rather you rest and come back the stronger version of you than push through just because you're trying to prove to that person and uphold their legacy, just like I am for my mom. And I think for me, it's beautiful because I've been saying this over and over to people. I was so close with my mom that I have this genuine, ridiculous, strong connection that I can ask questions in my mind to her and I can know the answer because I asked her so many questions. I was, very up her butt, mama's boy my whole life. And any little question up until literally a couple of weeks ago, I would call and ask her. So if I close my eyes and I ask, should I upload this? Should I say this? Can I speak on this? Should I take 2 weeks? Should I take 3? I can hear her answer, and she's literally telling me, try, do what you can. If you can't, try again tomorrow. Feel your heart, understand that you're ready. And I just want to pass along her information to you for anyone who might be struggling with grief as a content creator, that take your time, tell your story online if you want to, but that natural need to be connected to the earth, to be connected to friends and family and be in person and be present, there's a reason why we feel that way as natural human beings. That's how we've been dealing with grief for generations and thousands of years. So to think that as a content creator you have to immediately turn and upload a vlog or immediately go upload a status, don't think like that. If you have the natural ability to keep to yourself yourself and deal with your own grief in your own way and stay away from all the social media for a little bit, do that. As a normal person or as a content creator, no matter who you are, you still have that need to be connected to the earth and to people, and you should feel that and let your soul fill up on that. Write the status when it's over. Tell a post vlog when it's over. I've been very open about the fact that I'm not big on like big vlogging and having the camera in people's faces while I live my life. I'll come on here and I'll tell a story time or discuss what happened in a memory, but I don't like to have the camera in people's faces. And the reason for that is I like to be more in the moment. And I think that even in the process of grief, you can do that too. Like, I went on the camera, like I said, in the vlog style in the first couple of days when I found out about her death, and I talked about the viewing, I talked about some of my frustrations, and it therapeutically helped me to voice that. It therapeutically helped me to have a place to upload those words and have a place to speak on all of that. So use that platform if you need it, but it's not something I did because I felt like I had to upload as a content creator, I had to upload as a YouTuber. No, it genuinely helped me and gave me a place to speak. So only come online and speak your mind if it really gives you that therapeutic peace. If it brings you peace of mind and helps you get to the next stage of grief, then definitely do the podcast episode, definitely do the YouTube video, do all of that, show who you are, reveal your soul. But if you're doing it just because you feel like you have to upload and keep things up to date with your content, which I totally understand that pressure, don't do it. It's not going to come out right. You won't feel comfortable, and I don't advise it. Do it when you're ready. Do it when you feel strong. Do it when you feel like you have value to give. Don't do it just because you feel like you have to upload. Don't do it because you feel like you have to do a status because you haven't. If you need to take time for yourself, take time for yourself. Connect to the earth, connect to your friends. That's what I've been doing. And although it does make me nervous of how my channels and how all my content creation will turn out, I know that the right people will be there for me when I return and when I feel strong enough. And I want to tell all of my story correctly in the right way so people can follow my journey on YouTube and know where I came from and where I'm going, and specifically how my mom inspired me and was so much a part of this journey, and how even right now, before I continue, like I said, before I can continue to teach you guys the ins and outs of social media, the analytical responses and things like that, and the foundations of what it takes to grow and things like that, we need to also talk about the real events that could possibly happen to you or me while we're trying to grow these platforms, while we're trying to become these best versions of ourselves as YouTubers, as podcasters, as Instagrammers. This too could happen to you. This too could happen to a friend or a loved one. Your world can be turned upside down in any moment, and you have to make sure you take that time to breathe, take those weeks to reflect, understand who you are, and if you can and want to, turn that into a piece of content creation and inspire and teach the world the lesson you've learned. But don't be forced or don't feel the pressure to turn something so traumatic and so sudden over immediately, because I almost felt that, you know what I mean? And that's why I turned this into an episode, and I wanted to preach that to you guys, because originally when this happened, I had to think to myself, like, do I want to talk about this or do I want to keep it to myself? And that initial blast felt so good. But then the minute I decided I was done speaking and I wanted a couple weeks to myself, I just took it and nothing felt better. And like I said, I never thought I would need that time because I love making videos. I love being a creator, and I never thought anything would keep me off these platforms, but I needed to be connected to the earth and to people during that time. And it feels so good to be back, and back on such a strong inspirational message for the Creator Chat podcast. I'm so excited to see where this goes as a whole, and I'm very proud of this to be an episode of what we do, because even on all the coaching channels out there, on every YouTube coaching channel or every creator coaching channel, you can probably find so many videos, even in creator coaching podcasts too, because there's a lot of those too, so many topics about the thumbnail, so many topics about growing followers. But is anyone talking about what it's like to go through grief while you're trying to reach your goals as a content creator? It's so hard, and you need to know all the things I just told you. And I'm glad to give some, excuse me, I'm glad to give some like light on this subject, even though it's such a dark, sad thing. This is my reality, and you will hear me talk about it in future episodes here on the podcast. You will hear me talk about it in future entertainment videos on my variety channel. So I want across the board for everyone to realize that this is a part of my world. This is something that I'm going to be dealing with for the rest of my life, and anyone who else is dealing with it, we're dealing with it together, and we're growing as creators together with our grief, and we are going to get to the next chapter and stage together. And I got you guys, I know you got me. This felt so good just to get that off my chest and talk about grief as a creator in hopes that it'll help other creators going through grief. I love you guys for listening and for watching. Please don't forget, in the description box of this episode and on the YouTube channel, you'll find the links to my main variety channel, the content creator coaching channel, the Creator Chat podcast YouTube channel, as well as a bunch of other fun stuff on my link tree. Also, I am still taking donations to get my mother a tombstone, so I have a place to go and be and, reflect physically. So I'm taking donations for that with a GoFundMe with the link in my bio and in the description box. I love you guys for listening and for watching. I'll check in with you soon. I love you. Bye.